So this is Goodbye Beautiful, and after probably the episode that almost beat Walk This Way, I figured we step back into the regular Ray Donovan episodes, and we see what happens when you try to mess with the gang of Russians that have been haunting the Donovans and the group for this past season. And as we found out from the episode that has happened just about a couple of weeks ago, they found out that one of their members has died and has been shipped off to Russia, and they call out the art dealer and said that he died instead of the girl and has been sent out. And what winds up happening next is that in like a pawn shop or whatever, because this is focusing both on Mick and Ray, we see that Mick gets a gun from a pawn shop because he wants to attempt to try to break into Prim's home and try to steal his $4 million back from his home, because isn't that what you want to see out of a this thing, right? Is Mick trying to steal the money back? But then we see that Ray and Avi get some evidence from their storage locker, and that they're they burn it because they don't want any evidence left behind, or they don't want anyone to try to frame them for anything, especially the group that's after them. So then we see that the art dealer suddenly knows about the incident that happened last night, because some video evidence winds up showing Ray going in with one of Belikov's men, and then coming out without Belikov's men. Instead, it's the little girl, like in the episode. So, in that incident, the art dealer winds up having to travel to where her little beautiful set of flowers are, her girl, and they wind up traveling to Ray's home and ask if they could stay there. Meanwhile, Hector's girlfriend winds up packing all the things that they've had for the past few years, and she winds up traveling to the fight gym. For what reason? We'll find out in a moment. We then see that Mick and Bunchy wind up arriving outside the home, and they wind up having to figure out a way how to get the money out of the safe behind the stuffed buffalo head without disturbing the peace of the home. Kind of like Payday 2, if you know what I mean. We then see that the art dealer tells Abs about the situation, and as Ray speaks of the truth of what happened, and of course speaks out of what has happened so far, and what the art dealer needs. And essentially what she needs is a passport to get out of the country, because the group, the Russians, have essentially cut off all of her access to all of the groups that she knows about. Meanwhile, Mick has to get the combination from Prim, because his little laser tool or whatever he originally had unfortunately decides to crap out, much like the drills from Payday 2, as he winds up threatening winds up threatening Prim to shoot up her blind wife for the combination. Then they, of course, meanwhile, we see that the girlfriend of Bunchy winds up seeing that one of the henchmen of Prim winds up arriving at the home, which somehow miraculously wakes her up out of her entranced state. And we see that, by luck, we see that that she winds up grabbing the guitar from inside the home, or inside the car, and winds up hitting him on the back of the head, knocking him out. But unfortunately, winds up shooting Mick's girlfriend in the end, which forces him to shoot the henchman multiple times, and getting the combination from Prim after he died, and getting a gun pointed to his face after the henchman died. Which, from that point, they get the money back. And then we finally see that Ray gets the art dealer to the airport, and we see that Ray's PI team attempt to end this feud, but unfortunately, to no avail. Avi winds up getting beaten down and kept hostage by the Russians, or whatever this group is, because I'd completely forgotten what this group is completely called. Apologies for it. Well, we see that Ray, that the other one succeeded in taking down the other member that was following on her trail. So, at least that's one off the list. And unfortunately, as the flight leaves, we see that Avi is captured by them, and we see that Ray has to figure out a way how to get him back. Or at least how to get Ray back. And the deal is, he has to get the art dealer, because somehow she's tied into this mess. Or at least, she's part of the group. So I've been told. And that's where the episode ends. So, goodbye, beautiful. This was something, I do say so myself. Definitely, like, an interesting episode to return back to Washington with, but certainly one I will be definitely thinking about up until Sunday, of course, when I have to watch episode 10 of this episode. But most definitely, it is one of those, like, they really pulled this off, but also, wow. Just wow. I mean, Mick got his money back, but in return, his girlfriend died. But then we also had Ray gets Ray gets the art dealer on the flight, but then we find out that the art dealer may be part of this group and has to get her back. And that's a bigger twist in and of itself. I just can't wait to see what happens next week for the newer episode. And it's just something to do for Ray Donovan that, I don't know, how do you even deal with something like this for next week? I mean, I don't know. It's something to think about, and something to realize. But in that regard, what did you think of Goodbye Beautiful? Whatever your thoughts are, comment below, let me know, and if you enjoyed the episode yourself, consider leaving me a like or dislike, despite the fact that it's like honking your horn in traffic, and consider subscribing to my channel for more various content that may be on here. So, until next time, I'll see you guys for another video later.